only presume that you're not joining us right now because of vaccination. I'm curious, is that accurate? And if so, or do you expect to be either vaccinated or compliant in time by the time you guys come back from LA after that postseason game, after the preseason game?
Yeah, no, Brian, I appreciate your questions, bro. Honestly, I like to keep that stuff private, man.
Thank you. Understanding you want to keep this private, and I do think there's, people should have privacy to a certain extent, but people are speculating about certain stances you have and that you're not going to be available to your team and that kind of thing. And just why don't you want to clear that up to some extent?
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
As in fans too? They also want to know, not just us.
Yeah, next question.
Platform to spread positivity and spread light on the things that matter to me, and I just care about our world a lot. And if I'm going to be demonized for that, at least let me go out on my own accord. First things first, this isn't about me, and it's not about me dispelling, what's being said about me particularly or for anybody. It's just saying, I'm standing with all those that, believe in what's right and are doing what's right for themselves. Everybody has a personal choice with their lives. Everybody has a right to feel a certain type of way. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Everybody's entitled to do what they feel is best for themselves, and putting me as a hero or painting me as a villain, sort of say, or going against the vaccine mandates, like that wasn't my intent at all.
Hi, my name is Perp, and today I'm going to talk about this Kyrie Irving situation. That's simple. I'm of the belief, or of the thinking, or the rational thinking, that there are two sides to this Kyrie situation. Both two very different sides that have very different implications on who they affect, right? This Kyrie situation, if you're not aware, Kyrie Irving is a very famous basketball player, perhaps one of the best ball dribblers of all time. And if you know basketball, chances are you know Kyrie Irving. He's famous for the shot he made in 2016. But if you're not familiar with Kyrie Irving, well, he might seem like a bit of a crazy head to you. This is not the first controversy Kyrie Irving has gotten into, to make it clear. Kyrie Irving has gotten in trouble before. He said stuff before, although none of it has had nearly the effect that this decision has today. So, without further ado, let's get started. Before we get into it, if you like my videos, if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd appreciate that very much. Let's get into it. So, first of all, let's actually go over what's happening. Over the past few weeks, NBA players have basically been given an ultimatum. The league, in accordance with a lot of state laws and federal law up here in Canada, is basically forcing players to get vaccinated. Not necessarily forcing, actually advising players to get vaccinated. And it's just like any other typical workplace. You can't go to work if you don't get the shot, right? Most people who don't want to get the shot, or most people who prefer to stay home, either won't get the shot or won't disclose that they got the shot. You know what I mean? And that seems to be the case for Kyrie Irving. Now, the reasons why Kyrie Irving is not getting the shot, I don't know, personally. I could care less. It's his personal decision. The only person that affects is him, which it's a neat segue into my first point, and that's the people that affects, the heads of the coin, if you will. Basically, the decision that Kyrie Irving is making is not necessarily affecting anybody else but himself, if we're talking about it on a personal level. If he doesn't want to get the shot, that's his decision. Again, I'll talk more about this as we get deeper into the video, but you can't force somebody to do something, especially when it comes to medicine and when it comes to science, that they don't want to do against their will. Some people will think rationally and they will understand that you have to do it, or it's the best case scenario if they want to, see results and whatever. But for whatever reason, Kyrie Irving has not decided to take the shot. Kyrie Irving has a history of being, I'm going to use the word spiritual. He's not necessarily your typical NBA player. He does stuff, He's sort of a philanthropist. He's done stuff here and there. And it's actually not that much of a surprise that he's not taking the vaccine. Like, I predicted this. I predicted a few players in the league wouldn't take the vaccine. In fact, I'm surprised so many teams actually ended up being able to get their guys to take the shots, because I thought there was going to be more people who didn't take the shots. Well, clearly Kyrie is an outlier, and it doesn't affect anybody but him. That's just the honest truth of the matter. If we're talking about it from his perspective. If we're talking about it from the perspective of somebody on Kyrie's side, the most you can say is that politically speaking, it's a statement. I don't think Kyrie is a Republican, but a lot of Republicans, a lot of right wing, a lot of populists, a lot of people on Twitter who vibe with that side, they are coming to his defense. And, you know, you're not necessarily a good person if you have people who have a reputation of being not great coming to your defense. You know, you have lots of names associated with patriotism in America and whatever, you know. It's sad, all right? Like, when you have those people come to your defense, especially as a black dude, as an inspiration to black kids anywhere, that's just the way it is, right? Most basketball players, they are inspiration to kids everywhere, and you know, they are an inspiration to black kids because they show you don't necessarily have to be the smartest person or the most skilled person. As long as you put your all into it, you can be a good basketball player. And I don't know what experience Kyrie had growing up, but clearly he's a great basketball player. He dribbles the ball like I've never seen anybody else do before. He's probably the best ball handler in NBA history. There might be disputes to that, you know. We can talk about Allen Iverson, but Kyrie Irving is definitely up there. So for him to make a decision like this, you know, he has to consider it, even if it's not affecting anybody else personally on a personal level, because I'm sure he has the health to deal with whatever's going on. But if he doesn't want to take the shot, you know, his problem, his fault, his loss, I guess. But you know, you also have to consider the other side of the coin. This isn't just affecting Kyrie. If you're looking at this decision from the other side of the coin, let's talk about the team first. The Brooklyn Nets. Everybody has been saying that the Brooklyn Nets are a contender this year. They are given the best odds to win the NBA title this year. Kevin Durant is still considered one of the best, if not the best player in the league, right? He has James Harden to help him. He has an excellent backcourt to help him. And he had Kyrie to help him up until this point. The fact that Kyrie's not going to be there, this is a stretch, and people are probably going to disagree, but I don't think the Brooklyn Nets are going to win this year. They're not going to win the title this year. I think they're probably going to make the finals still. You know, the East it's good this year, but it's not, you know, it's not the way the Western Conference has been for the past decade or so, right? It's strong this year, but there are like 3 or 4 strong teams. It's not incredibly, insanely competitive. And, you know, I see them making a deep playoff run. I just don't see them being able to be successful in the playoffs or, you know, in the finals specifically, because you're losing Kyrie Irving. You're losing one of the best players in the league. That just has to be said. But further than that, just the political stance of this or the influence that he has. Why would you make a decision like this? Like, it just looks selfish from a neutral perspective. It looks like a selfish decision because you're putting yourself ahead of your team. And, you know, I can make a comparison to the Simone Biles thing. Y'all are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but Simone Biles made a selfish decision by deciding to sit out the Olympics because of her mental health. You're not gonna get mad at her for putting her mental health first. So why are so many people mad at Kyrie? Why are people bashing Kyrie? It's his decision. Well, in the NBA, it's different. First of all, in the NBA, it's different. It's not like gymnastics where you have the support of lots of people who are gonna understand your situation. You are a black dude living in the 21st
By the time
century.
training
There are
camp
things
begins,
expected of you.
obviously
I can talk
that
about
hasn't
this
happened.
on an entirely different level, but me personally, as a black person, as somebody who's of darker skin, you know, I see this happen all the time. People think just because, you know, we're black, we have to be certain things. We have to be very opinionated, or we have to be, you know, we have to act like the stereotypes that are given to black people. Mind you, the stereotypes have changed. I don't think people notice that. The stereotypes have changed, but Kyrie's expected to act like a typical NBA player, you know, good off the court or bad off the court or whatever. But as long as he's good off on the court, as long as he's an inspiration, as long as people can put posters up of him, nobody will care. Kyrie Irving has effectively destroyed that, you know. The people that still agree with him, the people that haven't gotten the shot yet, are people who don't care. They don't care about what society has to tell them. That's a good thing depending on who you ask, but I think that's a terrible thing. You know, we're already living in a day and age where it's hard to be normal. It's hard to be not weird. So for Kyrie Irving to go and not just cause the ruckus that he has, but double down and consider retiring and spread all these rumors, it just seems selfish. It seems like a stupid decision. And you know what? The Brooklyn Nets have the right to force him not to play. They have every single right. If you decide to make a decision that is your decision, you've made that decision for yourself, that foregoes the best interests of others, your employer or whoever you work with has every single right to allow you not to participate. The Brooklyn Nets have done the right thing by not letting him play. That's what I think. They've done the right thing by not letting him play. And for Kyrie, it's his problem. Nothing else can be said. It's quite literally his problem. If he doesn't want to accept that, if he doesn't want to understand that, that is literally his problem. I can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. Maybe somebody will be able to convince him down the line, but I doubt that'll happen. So yeah, those are the two sides to the coin. That's the easiest way to describe it. You know, on one hand, you have a personal decision that nobody has any control over. It's his decision to make. If he wants to make that decision, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. On the other hand, you have something that seems selfish, but not only that has implications on the way people think about you, the way people understand you, your job, you know, your legacy. People aren't going to see Kyrie Irving as the guy who hit that insane shot in Game 7 anymore. They're going to see him as the guy who refused to take a jab that everybody else is taking, you know. He's going to be seen as that one weirdo. And I feel bad for Kyrie, honestly, because I feel he's being misunderstood. You know, there could be something deeper here that he's not communicating with us, but, you know, his loss, completely, his loss. Nobody else can deal with that. Nobody else can say, oh, Kyrie, oh, he's lost. His loss. To all the people who want to get mad at Kyrie, don't waste your energy. He's probably going to come around soon. No point in him losing all that money. Plus, you know, a title is at stake. To those of you supporting Kyrie, think about it rationally, you know. If you wanted to work, if you wanted to go to work, you wouldn't cause a ruckus like this. If you don't want to get fired, you follow the rules at your job. If your job requires you to take something, to take medicine that protects others, you know, if you refuse to take it, that's your problem. You can't go to work. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Your boss is gonna be like, I can't help you. You don't want to keep everybody else here safe? You go work somewhere else. If you enjoyed this video, again, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd love to hear what you think about this conversation. A random question for y'all out there. If you haven't got the shot yet, or if you don't think the shot is right or good, I just want to hear why. Because I'm sure there are a lot of people that have genuine reasoning, like besides whatever 5-paragraph essay they want to give me about, oh, personal choice, whatever. There's got to be something deeper than that at this point. Like, if you're still using that as an excuse in 2021 when, you know, billions of people have already gotten at least one dose of the shot, you know, you got to get help. Like, I can't, I don't know. It's just, it seems stupid. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later, I guess. Bye.